So things went difficult in this last encounter of ours. After our defeat of the undead hordes outside of the city, our companions and I were able to fortify ourselves within the walls of the, crumpled walls of the keep. There we sat and waited while we figured out that the enemy was after the gauntlets that the family stored here with Ragnar and his family. We just tried to decide what to do with them when suddenly from the sky we saw a descendant of our enemies appear. With this, we were able to gather ourselves and once again try to decide the best course of action. We were not given enough time, though, to make a very good plan as they brought an ultimatum to us. The gauntlets for the lives of Ragnar. I am ashamed to say it was a difficult decision for us to make. But in the end, we decided that Ragnar's life was worth more than these gauntlets. We met them out in the front, where the Black Knight and Skygore were there, Heloni's father and brother as well. There, we exchanged the gauntlets for Ragnar as well as a single question we were allowed to ask. The question we asked was simple. What was his goal? There we learned the knight decided that he wished to become a god in order to become the only god. To make the world in his image, sort of thing. We also discovered that the gauntlets had the power to stop him. This, of course, means either we will have to try to retrain these gauntlets, or, if possible, forge new ones. In any case, our course is set and we are sure certain now, but before we can even attend to that, the party and I, the party, more than I, have made the decision that the curse on me must be lifted if we are to move forward. It is corrupting me more and more, and I have a fear that sooner rather than later it may take its full course upon me. If it does, I still do not know what could happen. I have asked the others to. I had asked Ragnar to end me if things go worse, knowing that I believe no one else in the party would be willing. I hope this, of course, does not pass. I have much to still live for. And I will do my best to survive, if only to keep a promise. At the moment, though, we are heading back to the keep using the teleportation circle. There we will regather and reclaim ourselves and figure out the best way to move forward. It will take time, but I believe we are ready.
And I believe that is more or less everything, Nano. If I missed something, it has been like 2 months.
No, that's about everything.
Judah, feel free to have an inspiration.
Thanks, my friend.
On your sheet, Judah.
So
Thank
before anything,
you.
you said we've had a bit of a time skip. I will take one more crack at attuning to this motherfucking spear.
Yeah, you can do that in a bit. You guys are still technically in Husvik.
Oh, I thought we time skipped that.
Nope, not time skipped.
Okay,
Just
my
yet.
mistake.
But yeah, you can try to attune to the weapon again. The game is back up, guys, so you guys are free to hop back in if you already aren't.
It's still paused though.
I was in the kitchen on my phone.
Refresh.
So give me a second.
Okay, refresh. Okay. Loading in now. Fuck, it's been a while since I've done Jubei's voice. It was worried I forgot it for a second.
I forgot Alipor's voice, to be honest. I have to figure the hell out and figure what that is
Right.
again.
How do I do this? Oh, the game is paused.
Refresh.
Yeah, you got to refresh.
Diablo.
No, such a pain in the ass, right?
Well, it's weird that it even showed that it was still up because I closed the software and reopened it.
Odd.
I have no idea. I have a surprise.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Indeed. If it will load.
You are free to show your surprise. Does anybody other than me know about it?
I would
Crystal
guess
knows.
not. Okay. Did you get some artwork?
I did.
Haha, I guess the surprise.
I will put it in general.
So, the battle
Oh,
for
nice.
Kuzvik is done. Ragnar last stated that they destroyed his pact weapon with his father. He no longer has that ability to wield that power. Which means I gotta remove levels.
Ragnar's now a basic bitch.
Yeah, he is now just a regular old fighter. Almost like I've seen this in a movie before. Wonder what movie that would have been. Be the god of swords or the god of thunder? Anyway. Yeah, so what are you all doing? Ragnar is there kind of on the ground, holding his wounds. The undead around the area seem to be handled.
Oh shit, yeah, we're starting right off where we were. Okay.
Yep.
Jubei will help Ragnar up with Halani, I'm assuming.
On update.
Crystal. But she's muted. So you both help up Ragnar. He is looking pretty worse for wear.
This is a stupid question. You're doing okay, Ragnar. You're not going to keel over on us.
No, I'm not gonna keel over on you. It takes much more than that to kill me. Though a healing potion would be welcome.
I do not have one on me, but why don't you chip her up?
And I'll give him a healing word.
Okay, roll your healing word.
Four
so
hit
you
points.
heal him. Some of the deeper wounds kind of start to close up a bit, but he's definitely gonna need a bit of rest.
Oh, that I figured.
As his mother runs over to initially hug him and then sees the extent of his wounds and kind of stops herself. And then the two of them begin to speak in Furian a moment. Halani, his mother's laying into him. I don't know if Halani's gonna join in on that. It'd be kind of funny if she did.
No, I don't think she will.
I was half expecting Halani to twist his ear when he said he's had worse.
His brothers walk up and they also seem to be having the family discussion. In Furian, the townsfolk are moving about, just kind of dealing with the fallout of the battle. It is just into midnight. The moon is up. It's not a full moon. It's just kind of like the crescent moon. It is a waxing moon. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
you guys would like to do throughout the night?
I guess Jubei will meditate since he's got his whole warrior tranquility training he's got to do.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a wisdom ability check.
Oof.
You find it a bit hard to meditate after just kind of all the events. You're still riding a combat high of sorts, and just the knowledge of what the Black Knight is after kind of gets under your skin, and not to mention Skygore was there.
Okay, I'll take care of Jubei.
What about Esteban? What's he going to be doing?
I guess. Good question. We had a long rest, right? Or no?
Not yet.
Um. Trying to see if he can find if there's anyone that might be missing, if there's any children or hurt people, and get them to center of town or whatever.
Okay.
Does Esteban let us know that he's going to do that?
Yeah, probably.
Holani would join.
Everyone will join as well. As does Ayla, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a
Twin,
couple of
honestly.
investigations.
I'd imagine Twin probably is on that.
Funnily enough, he's just kind of staring absentmindedly at the sky. Nothing really much going on for them other than that.
Yeah, is there anyone in particular that's rolling investigation, or just whoever?
Just each person. I need one from. Esteban.
I don't know why that was private.
So you all start to look around. And Ayla does her best to help. But she gets sidetracked a lot just trying to help the injured. Halani, you also do your best to help, and you find some folk, but they're already deceased. Everyone does find a few lost children. Esteban, you find a couple of families who were kind of... They were going to one of the longhouses, and they got trapped in there when one of the giants, threw a boulder, and it hit a piece of the wood, knocked some rubble in front of the exit. But overall, you guys spend like, I don't know, 2.5 hours looking for survivors. Once that's done, I'm suspecting you all go into the keep, bed down for the night for your long rests. Who's rooming with who? Because some of the rooms got destroyed.
Last one would be with Ayla.
Okay.
It's kind of odd to say per se, but I guess where are the injured staying?
Those who are injured, the guards are setting up a bit of a kind of a clinic in this building here.
I am currently away from the computer, but if Quentin knows where they're going to be held, then I feel as though he'd probably want to stay with those who might need him.
Okay. Yeah, you can stay with the clinic.
Hmm.
What about Jubei and Halani?
I mean, Jubei will crash with whoever.
Yeah. Halani doesn't want to bunk with everyone.
Okay, so everyone's gonna bunk with Jubei, and that leaves Halani with Ragnar. Basically, how it goes. Since Quentin's staying at the clinic. So you all bed down for the night. Honestly, actually, Ragnar's probably in the clinic himself.
I mean,
How
he's so
fucked up
badly
he is.
injured. Yeah, I was about to say.
How
Like,
fucked up he is. That's probably where he's at.
Ragnar's mine.
So Halani can have a room to herself, I guess. The night comes. Nothing eventful happens as you guys sleep. The morning arrives and you hear the distant sound of a horn blowing.
Jubei gets up to investigate.
Okay. So you head outside and you take a look. And what you end up seeing is the king returning with a rather large force. He kind of looks around a bit surprised that the battle already happened.
So you basically had the late cavalry charge.
Pretty much.
Quentin would walk out as well.
Hello, Quentin. How are the injured?
Most of them are mostly stable. I did not get much sleep last night. I hope your night was better.
I've had worse, I suppose. It looks like the cavalry has arrived, though.
A hopeful sight, if it were on time, that is.
Well, I suppose they can at least help with the repairs and the helping the injured while we head back then.
I believe it is deeper than simply the injuries. I do not know if such a village ever experienced such a battle like this before. They're going to need more than patching up wounds, but perhaps patching what's within as well.
You are probably right, my friend. But for the time being, all we can do is move forward.
Jubei will just give him a slap on the shoulder.
He kind of course, because Jubei big man, he just kind of like slightly gets knocked forward a tiny bit, but kind of resets himself and kind of looks back towards him as well, and just, I suppose you're right, but, and kind of looking back over towards the king.
Do you have anything in mind to say to him?
Apart from giving a report and telling him that we have to leave back to our keep as soon as possible, I'm not certain what else to tell him.
Yes, I suppose it would be best to. Though there is the difficult news that perhaps, yes, we have Ragnar back, but we did give up the village's secret.
Yes, the gauntlets. I suppose the only other thing to do is perhaps see if he knows anything more about them. We still think it is possible that it is, though difficult, I admit, it may be possible to recreate such items.
Recreate it.
Jubei kind of looks over.
Recreate, you said.
Yes, my father used to say nothing is unique. When something is made, it can be made again.
He kind of slightly nods at that.
I suppose I would agree. Though, it entirely depends on whether or not we have the skills to be able to replicate such.
Exactly.
But at least on the bright side, and Jubei gives a slight kind of like try to be hopeful smile, forced hopeful smile.
We do have a star forge now at the keep. It is a start, no?
I
I
wouldn't
think it's
say.
still being built, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there
no,
will
but
be
well,
one.
we have a Starforged Smith is more the point he was making.
Yeah. Quentin kind of looks at this, and I would say it's not very difficult for him to pick up the hesitation within the words, but he returns the smile ever so lightly and just,
I suppose it is a potential.
he kind of goes silent for a moment, his smile dropping for a bit as he kind of, something comes to mind, but he kind of just continues looking on towards the king.
The king rides up on his giant moose.
What a
as he looks at each of you. Well, it seems that I've missed out on all the fun and battle. Quite the number these undead did.
Well, I can assure you, not much of it was actually fun.
We took some losses, that is for certain.
Well, suppose you'll have a report then, at least.
Indeed, Jubei will go over what happened, everything, including how we fucking got to the mess we were in from the castle.
I see. So the gauntlets are gone then.
It definitely appears so.
That is very unfortunate, but sounds like it couldn't be helped.
May I ask, what else do you know of these gauntlets? Do you know or know of anyone who might know of their creation?
Their creation, There might be a historian or two, but largely for the most part, Their creation is a bit of a mystery, even to us.
Perhaps we can see if we can discover something later, but in any case, we do have to have a sleep ready, I suppose.
Jubei just kind of looks exhausted.
Quentin to
In any case, my lord, I am happy to see that your son is at least alive and well.
Yes, it is good that he is.
And we will have to take our leave in the morning and return back to our keep.
Very
Yeah,
well.
no.
How are you planning on getting back?
I believe our bard mentioned he has a spell that should be able to bring us there.
Yeah, no.
Does he?
I thought Estefan got a teleportation circle. I thought you mentioned that.
Do I?
I don't know. I swear to God that was mentioned last game.
I vaguely
Oh.
remember that as well.
I do.
There we go.
When Jubei
yeah,
has to
no.
remember Estefan's spells.
Jubei remembers all.
God, Esteban. Ugh. Get it
Get
together.
with the program. Nano.
Terrible memory, okay?
Nano.
Starting to sound like Mickey.
I'm sobbing in the background.
Why are you sobbing?
Because I said your name like 4 times. You didn't say anything back.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I was listening. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't hear you. Yeah, what's up?
That's good. I was going to ask if I could perhaps insight the king. He sounds. This was a particularly not great loss and a huge blow to his entire town, village thing. He doesn't seem too upset about that. Can I insight
go
his nonchalance? I guess. Yeah.
It's definitely a Pyrrhic victory, if anything.
Hey, what?
Pyrrhic victory?
I don't know what that actually means.
There you
Pyrrhic
go.
victory. I've never heard that term before.
Never heard of Pyrrhic?
One at too great a cost to have been
17.
Basically, yeah. It's
That is the wiki definition.
Wait, could you read that again?
One at
Think-
too great of a loss to be worthwhile for the victor.
too great of a cost to have been worthwhile for the victory.
Yeah.
So, like, the Battle of Bunker Hill was a Pyrrhic victory for, I guess, the Brits. But, anyway, it's just a term. Yeah, he is definitely hard to read with your 4. Damn, you got a plus 13? Christ, dude.
Quentin knows all.
Madness! If you had to wager a guess, there's definitely some mixed feelings there. Like, one, he is definitely happy that the village isn't destroyed and most of the people are still alive and his stepson's alive. But he did have a sacred charge to protect those gauntlets.
Okay. He just kind of keeps it to himself. His hands can join together. Jubei. Hello?
Yes, Quentin. Sorry, I was eating my sandwich.
You're good. When do you think that we will be departing?
I'd imagine we are leaving in the morning. Unless there's something we wish to do here, Quentin.
Not quite. Simply only curious, rather. Uh-oh.
I don't know why you went to side talk.
Hold
Dragon
on, I
up.
think he did it. Yeah. You all right there, Heath?
What?
You got
You-
dragged to side talk somehow.
I didn't do nothing.
Neither did I.
Weird.
It was me.
Oh, ho, ho. We'll just blame Nikki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not here to defend themselves, so.
SMH. Everyone was
So-
the accomplice.
So did you get me cut off, or?
Yeah, cut off. You didn't. After he had kind of said, he was just curious, rather.
Okay, it's like, I was just seeing, we were having to head towards. Esteban said he had his smell ready, and we've been away from the keep far too long already. We have other
And he's gonna look down at his arm.
pressing business to attend to as well.
I understand.
But if there is something you wish to do here, Quentin, a day or two more, I suppose, would not hurt.
He kind of goes quiet again, in thought. I don't believe so. He kind of goes from the contemplative look back to a light smile, his more or less neutral face. I suppose I was only wondering. The only thing I would say that I have as a plan, rather, is perhaps taking a bit of time to commune with nature.
Not a bad idea. But
He kind of looks around at the frozen wasteland.
He actually lightly chuckles at himself at that. Do you not think that even amongst ice and snow there is not life teeming about it?
oh, I am certain there is. But to be fair, I much prefer a warm fire.
I will not fight you on that. But I heard in these areas there can be foxes, smaller rodents, and creatures of that sort.
I am certain.
I just had this really funny image of a polar bear running out, grabbing Twin, and bolting off.
He's just like as still as like a board. He just gets like lifted and taken. But it would not take very long. I find that whenever one wants to understand either life or death more appropriately, paying attention to one or the other reminds often people of what's on the other side.
Indeed. Well, as I say, Twin, we can spend a bit of extra time here if you would like.
It should
As I
not
say-
take very long. Rather, instead of the morning, if you think that we could leave first thing in the afternoon, that would be nice.
I suppose Esteban would not mind having to sleep in before casting his spell.
Yes, you're right. But for the meantime, Nana, you said that it was like nighttime, right?
This is the next day,
Okay.
so it's morning.
For the meantime, then. Well, actually, yeah, no, if that's the case. And if he'd monitored everything, yeah, I guess in that case, he kind of does a light bow over towards Jubei, and it's just, it won't be very far. And he just kind of goes off to walk off to a place that, isn't necessarily secluded. Actually, more appropriately, how about the little forest area in which Ragnar's brother trains and whatnot?
Ronnie? Yeah, okay. You trying to find him?
Rather a nice and more secluded area, and he only knows of that one.
So you head to that little secluded area.
The moment. Oh, go ahead.
It's very quiet. Nobody's there. You do see a lizard on a rock, though, nearby.
He kind of slowly approaches it.
It sits there and looks. It's like a pale blue lizard. With black eyes.
He kind of looks for just a bit. His face hidden behind his mask. Before he kind of looks up towards the sky once again, peering at the sun before averting his gaze.
Okay.
He kind of slowly adjusts himself into a prayer pose and just kind of begins speaking. I feel myself becoming more and more lost as time goes by. This mission that I am on, once upon a time, it seemed so much more simple to fend off darkness from this group. In some cases, even the world as well. But the longer I find myself alongside with them, I find that the mission seems to be much more difficult than I ever would have imagined. Not that I ever assumed it was to be easy, per se, but the stakes have increased. Someone wants to damage, if not completely destroy, the Holy Accord. Order, in its entirety, has flipped on its head, and yet there are no other sentinels out there except for me, at least from my own knowledge. My compass used to be simply that of life and death, but now I find myself trapped between something much more convoluted. Trapped. How am I the single one who can prevent them from experiencing a fate such as I have felt before? I don't want that, and I know that you know that I don't want that. I haven't felt your presence since leaving that place of scientific marvel. I don't ask for much. I don't think often. I'm afraid to, ever since you've saved me. But if you find a time, I would like for perhaps a small nudge in the right direction. He reaches up and wipes something from behind his mask before returning his hand down into the snow that probably lines the grass, if not completely covers it. He doesn't even feel the cold, his hand quickly adjusting to its temperature, before he just sits there silently, looking back over towards the lizard.
The lizard's just staring at you. Before this little ice bug walks past it, and its attention goes to the ice bug, and it just attacks and eats it.
Convoluted cycle, and yet always the same. And he'll sit there for maybe 15 minutes or so before making his way slowly back.
Alright. For the last day that you guys are in here, what's Jubei gonna do?
God, I don't even know right now. I suppose at this point he just kind of look about to see if this city needs any help. I guess I have absolutely no idea. It's what. Why don't you get to me last, Nano?
Because I have a feeling everybody else is gonna have the same answer. Okay, Halani, what are you doing on this free day?
Alani's probably gonna spend a lot of time in her room.
Some self-reflection. What's she doing in there?
I mean, someone will have to go in there and find out.
Someone was gonna check up on him.
Oh, well, there you go.
And you'd be like, of course he was, of course.
So you'll hear a knock on your door.
Champion.
Who is it?
It says Stevan. May I come in?
You can come in. It's unlocked.
Thank you. Opens the door. Takes
She's
a look
just
around.
sitting on her bed with a drawing book out on her lap.
Gonna make his way over and look out the window for a moment before turning towards her. You right?
Yeah, mostly just, a lot of things happening recently and just a good time for a little bit of a break before we get right back into the mess, isn't it?
Something like that.
She sounds tired.
Not used to it, huh?
Used to the mess, or
I guess.
I mean, a lot of my life recently has been a mess. It's just, I guess a lot of the parts of the mess have just gotten a lot more dramatic, and it's hard.
Right. May I sit?
Feel free to.
I can sit down next to her. Kind of glance over at her drawing book. What's she drawing?
Dick figgies.
Dick what?
Why is my brain being scared about saying what she's drawing? I'm like, it's not me drawing it. Why am I scared?
You good?
Just a lot of rough sketches of like recent things that have happened since kind of coming to my brain is blanking on this country's name right now.
5-4.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the quality of the drawings?
Like decent, but also they're just like rough sketches. So
is drawing small numbers.
Just drawing to help get my mind in focus and to think about everything that's happened.
Right. I kinda do the same, except I write all the I draw. Helps definitely keep the mind in check. I think that's very important. Not too bad.
You get a slight, very, very slight smile before it disappears.
I mean, there are sketches, of course. I'm sure you were to put your foot into drawing something perhaps a little bit more artistic. I'm sure you'd be very good at it. But sketches, quite detailed.
You saying that kind of puts a thinking face on her, and she just stares at the book for a moment before she starts flipping through some of the pages. And she opens it up, turns it to you, and pushes it towards you. And it's some pretty well-drawn sketches of the rings that Esteban has on his hands.
You see him, his lips curl up into a smile as he kind of stares down into the ring. I'm sure you'd notice with your passive perception would kind of thumb over his mother's ring for a moment. Oh. Very nicely done. And you only observed them for a brief moment of time as well, if I'm not mistaken. Unless you have been paying more close attention, I know you have a pretty good eye, so perhaps you have just been observing from afar.
I drew this probably within the first week or something. Oh wait, what was that voice? Okay, don't worry about it. Probably within the first week of meeting you. They were just really pretty, and I just wanted to draw them. I do notice that this detail here is wrong, but like you said, I only noticed it for a little bit, and just memory most of it.
Pretty good from just memory. And the rings are a bit complex as well. But my mother would appreciate these drawings. She was quite the artistic type.
Oh, what does she use? Does she paint or?
She is all manner of sorts of an artist, but painting definitely is one.
Just because I need to make sure. Halani's sketches are in charcoal.
Right, okay. But she uses more liquid type of paint. dances quite a bit herself. Collects flowers.
Some flowers on my Lucy. I was like, hi.
Sings. Dances. She's a very colorful, expressive woman.
She sounds very much like that.
Lends a lot towards my personality, actually.
I'm sure there's always worse things that you can inherit.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Perhaps if we ever get some time off, I might see if I could get you proper drawing implements, perhaps painter's tools or something.
I do have paints. I just really like using charcoal.
That's fair. Well, up to the others. Perhaps you could do a portrait of myself.
I'm surprised it took you that long to bring that up.
Am I really that predictable?
Quite frankly, yes.
Quite frankly, offended.
Good, you should be.
Well, I'll leave you to it then.
It was nice talking with you, Esteban. Thank you for coming and checking up on me.
It was nice talking to you as well, Alani. If you need me or anything, I'll be around. He'll give her a smile and clasp his hand over her shoulder before getting up, whipping his cape around and leaving.
Is that everything
Yeah.
for the two of you? Eventually. Eventually, Helani would get another knock on her door.
So many knocks.
Do you answer?
Yeah. She opens the door.
You see a very bandaged up Ragnar. He almost looks like a mummy. Helani, mind if I come in a moment?
Of course, come and sit down.
Thank you. He's kind of stiff too. It's almost like a full body cast. He kind of wobbles in.
She helps him across the room.
He's gonna sit across the room.
But like, if it wasn't like such a traumatic thing, like my brain mentally wanted to say, "Is this your attempt at a bad Halloween costume?" So I'm just laughing to myself. Just
Actually, now that you bring that up, Hold on a minute. I gotta pull up my calendar. Just a minute.
Wow, it says it's still the 25th. It's inaccurate.
You're right. Here, let me fix that. There you go.
Thanks.
Your immersion's back.
My immersion.
Funnily enough, at the end of the month, there is a holiday, Eve of Hearts. It's basically a mix of Halloween and Valentine's Day. That's what it is.
So it's like a scary hell Valentine's Day. Fantastic.
Yeah,
That sounds like
What day?
the 41st of Manta.
A perfect excuse for costume sex.
Exactly.
sounds like Victor's sort of holiday is like romance with like undead abominations wandering about. Happy Halloween.
Basically, yeah. Couples will enjoy a night dressing up in various flirtatious or suggestive costumes, as well as face paint. Officially, this night is to honor Lasara and her blessing of fertility upon the world, as well as honoring Okimi and her lover by dressing up to trick their partner. But little kids use it as an excuse to get candied apples and shit, too. So,
Heath.
Oh boy.
Heath.
What?
I just thought about if Victor and Tick just monopolized off of this holiday by creating an amusement park, essentially.
That's literally
Or a
what
theme
they
park.
should do. That's literally
Yeah.
what we should have set up at the castle. Is just a theme park created by, run by the skeletons and Victor.
Exactly. It'd be perfect.
Guys, the fucking fair
skeletons
was already
dressed up as ghosts.
monopolized.
Victor and Tick are just like capitalistic monsters. Like that's all they are.
Well, let's be honest. Victor's original thing for building the inn was to save on labor costs. So.
You're right.
But none of them is running the town.
Yeah. Operate within the system. Don't control it. Because then, who's gonna get blamed? Them.
You see, that's the key.
So, you're making him sit across the room?
Yeah.
Alright. He sits across the room and just kind of like shifts around a moment. Not where I expected to sit, but regardless, hopefully last night wasn't too harsh to deal with.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these last weeks have been harsh to deal with, but I'm just glad that you're okay.
Well, I imagine you're very upset with what I did.
Very upset is an understatement.
Fair enough. There's one thing I wanted to tell you, though. I mean, I know I apologized once already, before I did the really stupid thing to go with them, but I feel like I should do it again after the fact. I don't know if this is really the best time to mention this, but I believe I saw your mother in that ship.
Her face just drops a little.
She was in a cylindrical glass coffin filled with a fluid. Very unusual. It looked as though she has never. Well, looked as if she was alive, but just sleeping. I wasn't able to ascertain much about it as I only caught a glimpse of it, but I thought I should let you know.
Thank you. Why does my family have to be such a mess?
Well, I guess what our family's for. Mine's a bit of a mess now. Definitely gonna have to get out of this town as soon as I can.
Are they still in your ear about everything that you did?
Yes, and my stepfather is particularly upset about the whole gauntlets thing. He won't say anything to anybody about it, but I know.
Well, you're
Personally,
always welcome to come with us still.
Personally, I don't know why you chose me over the gauntlets, but it is what it is.
Well, to be fair, Ragnar, we didn't know about the gauntlet properties, but I'm sure that even if we did, we'd probably make the same decision again. You're important to us.
Suppose. Gonna be pretty much useless now, though. I don't even know if I'll be able to swing the sword properly anymore.
I'm sure that with time we'll sort something out. Maybe you're just a bit drained at the moment, and after you get some of your strength back, you'll feel like you'll be able to.
Maybe. By the way, I have to thank you for saving my brother. He told me about it last night.
Don't worry about it.
He said he was at Giant's lunch and you came in. And pulled his ass out of the proverbial frying pan.
Yes, well, I did hear a little bit of a girl's scream, so I did think it was a girl in trouble, and I walked in and it was Brudia, and I was like, makes sense.
Fair. Also not surprised that's how he screams. Well, I suppose I shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to leave, you can stay here. I don't want to make you walk all the way back. You were struggling.
Well, completely honest, they didn't want me to leave that bed, but I can't just lay around, so I get bed sores.
Well, if you should go back, I'll help you back.
I don't want to trouble you.
It's really no trouble at all, Ragnar.
Suppose if you insist. He'll start to get up.
Milani will help.
Mummy
I would just like
Ragnar.
us, as you guys leave the room, Jube's been leaning against the wall outside your room, Alani.
Milani notices you. Hello, Jube. Did you need something?
Uh, well, I was looking to speak to Ragnar, but I did not want to interrupt the pair of you.
Well, if you want to take him back to the clinic, whatever we call it,
Clinic.
you can take him back and have your talk.
No, I don't. Unless you have gone to take him back yourself, Elani. Like I said, I don't wish to interrupt.
No,
Says with
it's
kind of a
perfectly
glowing
fine.
smile on his face.
It's perfectly fine if you need to talk with him.
Well, I appreciate this, Elani.
And he gives a bow.
You are doing well yourself, correct?
That's to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Everyone's coming to have a talk with me, and it's a bit much at the moment.
I understand. Been in that situation before as well, so I will not pry too much into you, Halani. I shall see you as we leave. Good day
All
to you.
right. See ya.
So you pass on Ragnar like he's a torch.
Yeah.
He picks him up and just runs. It's like, oh god!
My spleen!
My squiggly spooch. So Ragnar, I was meaning to ask you what your plans were right now. Did you intend to return to the keep back with us, or did you prefer to stay here with your family?
As much as I love my family, my place is not here. But to answer your question, I don't really know. I feel like I'm back at square one.
How do you mean by that, Ragnar? Just because...
And he's mentioned he lost his power when we first met and talked to him, as I recall, right?
Yes.
You think just because you have lost the powers you had that you no longer have a use?
I can barely lift a sword right now.
Well, be far from one to me to tell you the not lifting a sword is not important, but you have other uses, Ragnar.
Well, you can't look at my pretty face, it's all bandaged up.
Well, wounds heal that way, Ragnar, but you are still better than many with your words. Honestly, we could still use a man of your caliber back at the keep. To be frankly, I am worried how things have been run since I have been gone. We don't exactly have the most reliable people left behind at times. I'm a little concerned about what Victor and Tick are doing at this moment.
Hard cut, Victor and Tick just building a Ferris wheel.
Yep. Tick falls off the highest rail, casts the little fly spray on himself.
Yeah. Just see like 20 skeletons like bringing huge metal beams over.
Well, I suppose I could. I mean, I've royally pissed off a few people who I probably shouldn't have with my decisions, but live and learn, I suppose.
I mean, if you are worried about pissing off powerful opponents that you shouldn't have done so, then you are in good company, Ragnar.
Not quite them. Those, they're easy to understand and deal with.
In any case, Ragnar, as I say, we would be honored to have you return to the keep with us. And if you are worried about your sword arm, we could do some training together when you are back up to your full strength.
See. It's been so long since I've wielded a blade that wasn't Joel. Still quite surprised that Black Knight was capable of breaking that weapon.
Considering all the other things he is capable of, it is a terrifying experience to say the least. But we should at least be ready for whatever is to come.
I agree. I don't know, maybe I'll just use a hand crossbow from now on for a while. They don't need
Yeah.
much strength.
Fair enough. You could use one of those, what did they call them? A rapier. As well. Yeah, more for finesse than strength, as I understand.
Perhaps. We'll have to wait and see.
Indeed.
At this point, you guys are back at the clinic.
Curiosity is, or I guess Twin was off in his meditative Glen still.
Oh, I would say he's probably back by then.
Okay, is Tick at the clinic?
If anything, or you said Tick, but
No, sorry, I
nah,
meant Twin.
You're good. But yeah, I would say Quentin's just kind of there. Still, of course, making sure, kind of like tending to a woman who's got a bit of a cough, dealing with a bloody cough, that being said, more appropriately. But turns for a quick moment before refocusing.
I got cut off there, Judah. I didn't hear that last part.
Oh, sorry. He's like I said, he's tending to this woman and kind of seeing the both of you come in. He kind of turns to the both of you for a bit of a moment before refocusing.
Well, it seems like everyone is keeping themselves busy before we leave, at least. Twin, did you need any assistance?
I don't. I would say that things are so far going about right. We're running out of a few supplies, perhaps.
I see.
Is it perhaps okay if you could find... actually, Ragnar?
Yes.
I have two requests. Do you happen to know where any extra firewood would be?
Probably there's some stores over in the markets.
We're going to need them if we're going to keep the kindling warm enough for the rest of those who need it. Kind of looks back towards the woman who seems to have sort of calmed down, kind of in a more resting area, her eyes closed. My only other request, though, is that he kind of removes the mask and he just kind of looks Ragnar kind of like near directly in the eye. Please don't move from your assigned place again.
Ragnar leans over to Jubei to kind of like mumble in his ear. He was the one trying to keep me locked down in here.
Well, you probably should listen to your doctor's orders. I know I was given hell when I didn't listen to Twin when I was a bit in a rough state.
I don't particularly like giving orders when it comes to things. Though, if I've learned anything from the likes of Jubei and Davia, I know that it is sometimes difficult for those with faith in their bodies to be kept in a single place, quite. Next time, if you happen to move, I might, just might, have to do a few things to a few ligaments. And just smiles a little bit. If you could at
Rag-
least comply, I will not have to paralyze you.
Ragnar looks over to Heath or to Jubei. What are ligaments?
They are the parts of the muscles that basically allow you to move, I believe.
Hmm.
Put bluntly, you don't want them injured.
He just nods again. So please, do not move again. The injuries that you've sustained, there are several areas that still need stitching, patchwork, and frankly... Actually, I guess asking, over from what I've seen from him and his injuries, what kind of damage did he sustain?
Well, first and foremost, his sword was destroyed, so there's kind of a huge blow to his, I don't want to necessarily call it Arcana, but Arcana. Though, roll me a Arcana roll, I guess.
Alrighty, I'm not too great at that, but 12.
Would Jubei be able to assist?
Yeah, you can roll one too, Jubei.
Oof.
Oof.
Oh, we're all good tonight.
Yeah, good thing it's just RP, right?
Right.
The two of you, I mean, there have been instances where people's Arcana was wounded, and normally people are able to recover, but you're not really sure how that's going to work with Ragnar's situation, considering he had a patron and a patron weapon, and the magic was mostly imbued into the weapon itself.
Hmm.
As far as like the packed weapons in my world kind of work, that's typically how it goes.
Right.
So you're not sure if that's ever going to come back. Beyond that, several broken bones, some broken ribs, some deep cuts. He's basically at half movement for a while. He has a disadvantage on any attack roll. It basically,
4 levels of exhaustion.
4 levels of exhaustion just until he recovers.
Then, okay, so to kind of put things in a better area, because frankly, I wanted to know, so I didn't quite assume, but kind of going back a bit, he just kind of says, next time, please do not resort to forcing yourself out of the door. You have quite a few injuries. Most of them were near lethal, if I'm to be completely honest, as your assailants quite... they knew what they were doing, rather. Your healing is of utmost importance, and I would hate to have to paralyze you in order for the rest of the healing to be done.
Very well. Oh, the other thing, Twin, since you slept in the clinic, there's also a mental and emotional wound that he's holding, but he's gonna do his damnedest to mask for as long as possible.
I mean, you're giving me a free insight check right there.
With your passive,
Well, yeah, with my passive insight too. That is.
What is your passive insight?
Let's see. How is the passive calculated? That's 8
it's
plus
18.
proficiency. 18, yeah.
It's 10 plus proficient. It's 10 plus all your bonuses.
No,
That's how
your
passive
passive
works.
is 23.
Oh my.
Yeah, his passive's 23.
My passive is 21.
Damn.
There,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of emotional baggage he has, and that's also going to take some time to work through.
Yeah, I suppose for the sake of it, like for future flavoring purposes, the idea behind Quentin's sharp insight comes from the fact that he's seen several people at their absolute worst, losing loved ones, people even perhaps closer than loved ones, or even sometimes absolute enemies. Sometimes he's frankly done, he's done like burial services and things with people who killed the very people that they're burying, trying to fake crying, things of that nature. He's seen pretty ugly parts of humanity in that instance.
Based off all that, you can tell while there is still a rock bottom that he could reach, he's pretty close. Like, if any of his family members would have died the night prior during that
Yeah.
assault, he would have been at rock bottom.
The
But-
only thing that's preventing him at this point is kind of his pride, I would assume.
Yeah, he's got that Vegeta pride going.
Alright.
That's really the only glue holding him together at the moment.
Yeah, okay. He kind of... If anything, I would kind of say that when he was getting all difficult previously, when he had left, Quentin probably had let him knowing that conviction was likely going to be the thing that was going to keep him from staying. But kind of noting this again, a small change in his face happens, but he looks back over towards the others, the injured, the sick, both, and then looks back over towards Ragnar. I hope this is not out of my place, but if there's ever a desire to discuss what exactly had occurred, and of that nature, I might be able to do something about it and help. Within battle, war. His eyes kind of go dark for a moment before returning. Torture. There are oftentimes things lost other than blood, tears, lives. Something internal that can't quite be replaced. Does not regenerate like blood or tears. Even lives can be restored. The mind is a different story. So, if you have any inquiries, do let me know. Aside from my blank candor, it should be known that I am very happy to see that you are safe and sound, Ragnar.
I will keep that in mind.
He just nods. Kind of looking over towards Jubei.
Jubei. Okay. Yep.
Is there anything that you need, by the way?
I don't think there's anything in particular, Twin.
Actually, Would you mind if I were to pull you to the side for a moment?
But of course, my friend.
And he'll kind of just begin to walk outside, past Ragnar, before kind of, or after looking over towards one of the guards and kind of gesturing over towards Ragnar for him to be taken care of.
Tie him down to the bed if necessary.
Don't worry. Quentin will just find a very quick and harmless way to remove some of the ligaments around his arms and legs so he can't move. It'll be fine.
Anyways, Jubei will follow after Quentin.
I suppose I'm curious.
Yes, Quentin?
You... Skygore. You saw him once again.
Just at the mere name of it, given your passive, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception, on the other hand, not crazy. I've got a... Wait, let me...
A 15 minimum, I'm assuming, but...
I'm trying to remember. Is it literally just 8 plus the skill?
No, it's 10 plus.
Okay.
10 plus.
10.
It's
10 plus the
10.
skill.
Yeah, it's 10 plus your bonus.
Okay, 15
It should be on the right side of your of all your numbers. That's your passive.
So yeah, there
man.
should be the numbers in brackets next to like on your attributes page. So you go like acrobatics, it says dex, and then it's got plus whatever it is, and then in brackets
Oh!
it's got a number.
That's
That
super
bracket
fucking
is your
useful.
passive.
Yeah,
That's
that's your
super fucking useful. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 15.
That's probably enough. You would see Jubei's like hand just tighten. It in kind of making a bald fist just at the mere name of Skygore.
This is not the first time I have seen a visceral rage. How are you feeling?
Before you met us, Twin, remind me, did we tell you what occurred at the keep?
No, I only know what happened in relation to him to you, with what you've told me about your past.
Yes. At the keep, Twin, Skygore came there to... Well, I'm not even certain. Him and the knight were there. They battled us, and Skygore banished me to another dimension while the rest of the party members were battling him outside the gate. I was able to free myself from said dimension, but it was too late to be of help for some. One of our Osoji, one of our companions was killed during the battle while I was gone. And Davia was nearly lost to us as well. That monster has taken everything from me and intends to take everything else that I have left. Rage is an understatement for what I feel for Skygore. And I will tell you honestly, Twin, had your lives not been on the line at that moment, and had I not made a promise to a certain someone, I most likely would have gone in a mad rush against him, and most likely have died in the attempt.
I see. It had been no surprise that who he is diminished by what he represents to you most powerfully of all. I understand your rage. It is sometimes difficult. When powerful emotions surface, it is oftentimes very difficult to imagine if anyone knows what such a thing is like. But I have seen everything. Wives who have lost their husbands. One story was simple. They were enjoying a holiday together. Her husband was simply going to the roof of their house in order to set decorations. She was sitting inside. She was pregnant. She heard a thud, and before really anyone could have known, perhaps even the gods as well, fluids that should not touch the grass were on the grass. In those times, even a man who follows a religion as zealously as I can see why someone would be so angry at the forces that control this world. I hold nothing against you and your rage, but I think it is poignant to remind you that despite that burning feeling, white hot in your flesh, to exact revenge, and perhaps maybe retribution for everything that's been taken from you, you are not only your rage. You are a lot more than that. And in pursuing that rage for Skygore, you will not only lose your anger, you will lose everything as well. More than you thought was perhaps even possible.
As you say that, you see almost a laugh kind of. You see Jubei almost suppress a chuckle.
You sound a lot like my master at this moment, Twin. It's a bit disturbing. He said very similar words to me.
He just kind of looks curiously.
I suppose I never did tell you what happened when we were back helping Cinder in that underground lair by the keep, did I?
Repeat that last part again?
I never did tell you what happened in the underground keep when we helped Cinder.
Ah, okay. Not quite, I don't believe.
Well, when we were on that moving vehicle under the chambers and all of you saw me grow ice cold. My master somehow left a piece of himself inside of me. I do not understand the specifics of it, but he did tell me that the rage I had against Skygore was something I had to, how to put it, diminish or channel. not quite certain of the exact wording anymore, but to be frank, it was something I had to learn to let go. But the rage kept me alive, but it's also destroying me at the same time.
Hmm.
He told me I had to train to become the warrior of tranquility.
Right.
And I honestly could not think of a less worthy person than myself to take such a role.
Why is that?
Twin, I am a man who fled my home in shame, who destroyed himself in rage and drink in shame, and have made many poor choices in my life. The way of tranquility is a creature of, well, perfection in my culture. I I don't know if that is something I could even hope to achieve.
He kind of listens to that and lightly nodding before he looks down and will actually scoop up a little bit of snow into his uh, into his hand and kind of begins to ball it up sort of casually. What do you think about ice and snow?
Um, well, it could be rather pretty in the right circumstances and horrifyingly cold and deadly in the wrong ones.
Hmm. A duality. Something as simple as water transforming into what can seem like the purest of crystals. Can be cold and isolating, but from what I've heard, and frankly have felt whenever snow falls and I am in its vicinity, it is a sort of silence that mutes the world. Everything that's within it sleeps. Few things continue to carry on with their daily activities, but at least for most people, snow means rest for a lot of the world. Ice is innocent, pure, but it is not perfect. He kind of takes the clump and forms it into a nice enough ball before he actually calls down a very weak sacred flame to scorch just a tiny bit at the overall snow, melting it into water. Did you know that ice is something that can only be formed with an imperfection, an impurity?
I was not aware of such a thing.
Mm. Water is already a life-giving source of, well, peace, also great clamor, but with it as simple as it is, it needs to be disturbed or dirtied in order for it to become ice, which is rather humorous if you consider the fact that ice is for the most times perfectly pure, or at least it looks like it.
I see.
I find that the soul of people has very similar flexible qualities, fluid qualities like water. And throughout trials and tribulations, that water can be dirtied, can be frozen. All sorts of things can happen to it. I mean, you are talking to someone who might as well have spent his entire first life asleep. I do not believe I was worthy to become a sentinel, but rather I was appointed such, for reasons I still don't quite understand, but as I am traveling with everyone and learning more, not only about the rest of you, but myself, perhaps purity and perfection aren't quite as pure and perfect as we deem. Would it be foolish to say that someone like you, who claims to have tarnished his soul, couldn't be reborn in a similar way that I was? Perhaps not through death, but maybe by living life.
Jubei will kind of look at the ice in Twin's hand and kind of give a smile. He goes,
Maybe, Twin. Maybe.
and he once again gives him that friendly smile and goes,
You know, Twin, sometimes I do forget. Sometimes you are one of the wisest people I know.
Hmm. I thank you, but I find that all of this was only cultivated through perhaps some of the most difficult lessons I've learned.
I think that could be said about many people.
You know that story of the mother?
Yes.
About, I would say, 4 years later, I met her again. I also met her parents. They were rather old, too old to bear children, but they had one, a 4-year-old. She had succumbed to everything that had happened to her in her life. The clamoring within her own waters, if you were to say so, became too much for her to bear. She gave into the and, well, she didn't make it.
I see. A tale I hate to admit I am all too familiar with in my culture.
Hmm. Do remember, no matter how unqualified you may feel for a role, there had to have been some reason why it was gifted or granted to you. And that perhaps if you do not find that exact reason, or know it, you may find it later. All in all, Jubei, I believe I could speak for the lot of us all that None of us want to lose you. Especially to the very imperfections that could make you like this. And he just gestures out to the snowy fields.
Maybe I'll kind of just rub him and go,
Thank you again, Twin. You have given me much to contemplate as always. If you'll excuse me, I think it is about time we gather the others together. We will still need to head back towards the keep as soon as we can.
You're right. Perhaps I could assist you. I will make sure that Ragnar is situated enough. Is he coming with us?
I believe he said he wished to, yes.
Alright. I will make sure that he is properly taken care of so that he will be able to move well enough. But as for the others, if you need any help retrieving anyone, let me know.
I will.
And he kind of looks at Jubei for a tiny bit before he puts back on his mask and begins to walk back.
maybe I'll let him linger let him get ahead, and after a few minutes, going after to find the others.
Okay. All right. Well, does anybody have anything they'd like to do to finish up the day or no?
Nope.
Then taking care of the sick, Quentin's just vibing.
Uh. mm, Maybe talk to Ragnar's parents.
Okay. You'd find them on the first floor of the keep. They seem to be discussing something. Do you interject at all?
I'll wait for them to finish.
Okay.
What are they talking about?
Roll a perception.
That's a 10. My passive's 15.
They are speaking in a very hushed manner. You can do an insight as well if you wish. Okay. You can definitely tell that their conversation is a serious one. Likely about those gauntlets. The king definitely seems a bit peeved about it, though understanding.
Okay.
That said, it takes about 15 minutes before there seems to be a pause in it, so you can go in there and do your spiel.
I hope I'm not interrupting.
No, we were just done.
Hope you both have had a good evening, despite everything.
Well, cat, stop scratching my chair, you turd. It's been an alright night. Hang on a minute, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to go put them in the other room and close them in there. I'm trying to get them to stop scratching my damn computer chair.
Um.
But yeah, no, they say the evening is going as well as it could be.
Yeah. I just wanted to discuss a few things considering the state of the town.
Very well. Let's
I
have a
know
seat
we
at the
had
table.
very well. Takes a seat.
They too as well. Take a seat.
I'm sure there are a lot of important things going on. This town has suffered a great loss. Many folk have lost their lives. Ragnar's in a bad shape. And we lost something precious to you. I know we were talking about trade before, and those offers still stand. Want to be able to make sure that this town is able to get back on its feet again. So if you need anything, let me know. Try and organize it with my own family and talk to Jubei as well about what we can do.
Very well. That would be much appreciated.
Of course. Do you have a teleportation circle here? I wouldn't believe so.
We do not. However, I know of a few wizards that are capable of creating one.
Right, but that takes some time, right?
It can.
I was just wondering if there'd be an easy way to get that across. Regardless, if there's anything that you need, let me know.
We will keep that in mind. Your offer is very generous.
Just want to help out. Establish good connections, and I believe structure and trade, having good relations between towns and cities are very useful. You can get a lot of things that you can't get normally.
True. I believe it is more important than ever that we all work together these days. Dark
Indeed.
times are ahead.
Indeed. But if there's nothing else, that's all I wanted to say.
Very well. Hopefully your stay this evening is pleasant.
It has been.
Good.
He's going to try and get a read on their faces after he said all this.
Okay.
Another insight.
Yeah. They do seem to be genuinely appreciative
Yeah.
of that offer. Was there anything else that you're kind of going for there?
Um. If they seem to be distracted or thinking about anything else, or if throughout the conversation, especially, I think when he brought up the gauntlets or alluded to the gauntlets, saying that they lost something, if there was any reaction at all.
There is a little bit of a twinge there. Clearly, that's still kind of a sore point, but
Does it seem aimed at Estefan or himself?
more of a generalized
Okay.
problem there.
Okay. Estefan's trying to read if, like, he's blaming them for giving it away, trying to save Ragnar.
No.
Okay. But if there's nothing else we wish to talk about, he'll give them a curt nod and stand up and leave. That's it.
Alrighty. With that, we advance to the next day. As everybody sleeps, the morning comes. Everybody's ready to teleport back to the keep.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, where are you gonna set up the teleport from? Just in the town square?
Probably not in the middle of it.
Is this setting up a teleportation circle, or is this just
No.
okay?
This is
yeah.
casting the spell, yeah.
Casting the spell to return back. Because I can't set one up unless I sit there for a whole
month?
year.
Yeah, a year. Yeah, so like a month. Yeah, to set one up, it takes forever and a lot of money.
Yep.
Do it right here. It's kind of out of the way.
I don't suppose that this place have the components for teleportation circle, right?
I'd have to look and see what those are. One second.
Rare chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 50 GP. It would be real funny if this place does.
Some of the the war wizards that came back with the king have that.
Okay.
Because
Esteron.
originally, I was just gonna have one of the war wizards teleport you guys.
Ah. Hey,
Oh,
by all
well, that-
means.
But then you're like,
Esteban.
no, Esteban has it. I'm like, okay then.
I will end it from leveling.
I mean, yeah. I mean, also, it doesn't hurt to have multiples of it, so get some extra charges of that stuff. So we have teleportation circle when Esteban's with us, or if you switch back to frickin' Cinder learns the spell and we have it.
So, for the sake of brevity, everything gets set up. The circle is ready. Everybody stands in the circle and, I don't know, do you join hands?
I
No.
think we're pretty much good. Just chill until it's all done, and then walk through the circle.
Okay.
Do I have to pay for it? If the wizards are offering to teleport us back, Esteban will be like, sure.
No, you don't have to pay for it.
Nice. I don't even have to cast a spell.
Stingy.
Esteban does not have money to spend.
What you got for cash?
Not enough. To me, as a player, is not enough. Or at least
Fair.
Esteban as well. It's a decent amount. It's enough to cover the cost, and not really put too much of it in. But I'm trying to save up for something.
Fair.
So you guys step through the portal. The harsh, cold air turns to a nice, balmy, warm air once more. The snow-covered white transfers from that to a lush green forest and valley as you are all returned home to your castle grounds whenever the map decides to load.
Ugh. What does it feel like when you travel through a teleportation circle?
Kind of like you just got sucked through a hole, and it feels very quick, almost kind of dizzying.
Hmm.
Have you ever gone to one of those tunnels where they have the platform that you walk on, and below and on the top they have the things spinning? They're like fun
No.
houses. Oh, let me tell you, those are a trip. It's kind of like that, where it just makes you real dizzy.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
But eventually you return to the warm, sunny weather of... What the fuck did you guys name your keep again? Was it Bastion?
Oh fuck, I don't remember.
You guys changed...
God, it was-
Serenity?
Serenity, yeah.
I knew it was starting with S, so I was like, the fuck?
So you return to Serenity.
God, it's been a while.
It's been a very long time.
Tommen and Weseth walk up. Oh, hello! Holy hell! Been a while since we've seen you two. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very good, Tom, and listen, you two can count.
If you'll excuse me, and Jubei will head off right into the castle. Making a beeline to you-know-where, where probably half of you can guess.
Davia's bedroom.
Tommen looks, and then looks at Esteban. Well, what bug crawled up his ass?
I think he just misses Davia.
Why do I imagine everyone's like, because we had that whole ass demon conversation. It's like, actually, I think it was a demon.
He had to use the bathroom because the ass demon got inside.
I totally forgot you guys had fucking Guck.
Huh?
The orc, the one orc. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
that's
that
right,
one,
the
no.
one orc Victor recruited.
The lone orc. I think there's some orcish children too.
Yeah, grab the orc children as well. Victor grabbed all the surviving orcs that they didn't decide to take out, so they could try to rehabilitate the ones left.
Ayla just walks off, I guess probably with Esteban. Evan runs off to go see her dad. What are Twin and Halani doing?
I imagine that it's just like we step through the portal, like you get the warm weather. Lonnie's just like, fucking hell, it's hot, and just starts taking off like her jacket or whatever.
You see, what I also like to imagine is Twin just looks up and sees the giant Ferris wheel that just suddenly appeared behind the castle over the last 2 months.
Jesus.
Esteban is
I
gonna
forgot
go
that I have push to talk. Fuck. Hi, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Oh no. I was gonna say that we have already done the TP. Yes.
Yes, you
Or-
are
okay.
back in Serenity. Back home.
I see. I feel like Quentin just kind of reaches up at his shoulders, dusts off the snow, in comparison to Halani, who's fucking dying of heat all of a sudden. And just kind of... Honestly, no, he's just vibing. He's gonna look at the birds.
Ragnar is just kind of standing there. Starts to kind of like try to hobble off slowly.
Okay, Quentin's gonna help that boy.
I was gonna say, after Halani takes off her jacket, she helps him hobble.
I have expected everybody just to walk off, and then Ragnar's just like, oh.
Just for the meme, I'll say after you guys are helping, Victor will walk out and, you know what, you're so back, I saw Juba here is running over towards his bedroom with the aviation. Oh, you're so back! Holy shit, Ragnar, what happened to you?
I fell.
Well, if you wanted to be a mummy, you just had to ask, yeah?
I didn't want to be a mummy. What the hell is a mummy?
What, you've never heard of your mummy?
No.
What about your daddy?
Oh.
Tick
I don't think I
creates-
have the right equipment to be a mummy.
Tick does a laugh track.
Yes.
Morning, Victor.
Oh, hello, Stefan, it's been a while, yeah?
Guck
One day.
walks up. He's actually protective of Victor now.
It has been a very long time. Ayla I could feel Ayla just hides behind us a little.
Quentin just
That one, still disgusting.
Yeah, there's no point in pointing out the obvious there.
How's the keep been?
Oh, we've been doing good. We've been keeping the kids busy for the holidays coming up, yeah? You could see me and Tick been hard at work and getting this place ready so everybody could have a relaxing time and the good funs and activities.
Quentin folds his arm and looks proud.
You mean Twin?
Ah,
You mean
yeah.
Tick?
Sorry, now I'm thinking. God,
You're doing-
I missed him so much.
That's good then.
Guck, help.
Oh yeah, Doc's been great help, helping with the stuff, and we're gonna get him to run the cotton candy machine for the kitties. Isn't that right, Vakrak?
Yes. Cotton machine.
Right.
He's speaking very broken common.
Yeah.
Which is more than what he did before.
Yeah, great. I've been teaching him, helping him along the way with the common, yeah. Since I speak
Guck
the orc.
spell name now.
Yeah?
He gives like kind of a proud grin.
Yeah, he's been with us as kiddies. You know, the Minotaur children and them. He's been going to school.
And how does Guk spell his name?
He pulls out this big stick and just slowly, with like kind of really bad handwriting, Guk. Guk.
Very good, Guk.
I'm
Nice.
just imagining Billy Madison, but with a big ass orc.
In any event, as you can see, Guk has really gotten along with it here as a keep, and the people seem to be opening up to the orcs and everything.
Oh, that's good. That is not
Also, Bill and Ted have been very busy helping us build everything together.
I assume for the festivities, correct?
Yeah. We've even been building a haunted house, yeah?
Well,
Trust me, when I do a haunted house, I really do a haunted house.
I'm hoping that the trade relations that I've been trying to set up with Westvik, Ragnar's hometown, will come into fruition soon.
I'm sure they do fine.
You would have loved it there, actually. A lot of undead.
Oh yeah? Anything particularly interesting?
Check whoops. Notepad.
A lot. We'll probably do a debriefing at some point.
Gosh, this sounds good. So, we all meet up in the briefing room when you're ready and get yourselves your rest and bath and, you know, have the and
I need a good bath and good food.
By the way, you know that Cypher child? She crazy?
Quentin sniffs in the direction of Esteban. I could use a good bath. Just waves in front of his bird nose.
Keep in mind, I've been using prestidigitation on myself every day. I do not smell that bad.
Not Quentin, lol. Tick just kind of like thinks for a moment, takes out his sign, taps it twice, and it just says, "Have you ever tried spritzing perfume on a bag of garbage?"
Jesus.
I think Tick is trying to say there are limits even to the magical ways.
Tick nods. Limits, yeah?
Show you a bag of garbage.
Tommen walks up. Fight!
There is not going to be a fight.
He looks a little disappointed.
Not fight! Shakes his head. And then kind of looks in the direction of Tom, and he kind of like squints for a moment. Like very clearly, like, who is this person again?
Who? I don't even know who you are.
You don't even
will.
go.
Not realizing Tick took everything from Tommen.
God.
Well,
You guys do notice, Jubei ran in to go be with Davius too quickly, but there is a new Fiorian-styled manor built.
Ragnar's manor.
It looks like he's going to need it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Proceed cracking a beer and drinking around the garbage can.
Yep. Good old King of the Hill.
Yep.
Tick just kind of like looks over around, spots the hiding Ayla, and just Just like a little whoosh of wind just leaves his mouth for a split second before looking over in the direction of everybody else and just kind of getting a gist of everything, feeling the cold. He just kind of walks back over towards Victor.
With all this hubbub and stuff going on, there was quite a lot happening. So, I suppose the big factor we had to work out is what to do next, yeah? We've been looking hard into this stuff with Jube and Cinder and everyone else. Lots to keep us busy, yeah?
Yes, we'll need to figure out what we want to do now. Probably Jube's curse.
It should probably be a big priority.
Get on top
That
of that.
would be most important. It would be a shame if it were to progress any further.
Hmm.
So, out of curiosity, Nano, have they gotten the message? Because Victor's the one in contact with Satoshi.
They've gotten a message from Satoshi, yeah.
So, Victor would like to relay the info he's gotten. You can do that since I don't know the info he's gotten.
Basically, what Satoshi last said is he is very close to finding somebody who knows a solution to this. There's a couple of things that he is required to do to get an audience with this person, but he should be good by the beginning of Halva. So
Sure.
the next month.
So there you have it. We shall have information in the lickety split.
Hmm. Alright. Well, I'm going to get a little bit of much needed rest inside.
I need to draw a bath.
Yes.
Bird smile.
Well, if you
Flip
want, I can
tape
get Sonny and
walks
shake the water all hot and ready for you.
I'm good.
You sure? This is not an if you. It's not like they care.
I'm good.
They could scrub your back.
Tick like raises his hands, about to clap. I feel like at this point he's got like small dominion over maybe a few.
Yeah, he's pretty much... Basically, Victor has put all the undead, like... Tick is his second in command. Like, you what Tick says, unless I say different.
Basically, yeah.
At this point, Victor probably has about 20 or 30 undead running around just due to the freaking slaughter of the orc village and all the corpses we got out of
Oh,
it.
God.
Christ almighty. The townsfolk, while initially upset, have started to get used to it.
They immaculate exactly.
As long as they A, are presentable, B, don't stink,
Oh no, they're all
C,
skeletons, so they literally smell of nothing.
and C, they do not cause any
Rab-
kind of hostilities or problems, and yeah, there's no issue.
Yeah, no, Victor makes sure they're dressed up all nice and tidy. He even puts them in, like, stuffs their stuff with straw so the clothes fit more proper. And he basically just...
No, you go. You finish.
They basically just go around town helping people when asked. Like, he basically is set them out to be a hands help service that people can ask them to do something that's not illegal to help them with. Like, can you help me, like, shovel the shit for the horses? Like, okay, go at it, and the skeleton will just go off and do that.
I feel like God damn it. I feel like Tick like tries to record the overall performance like each time, using his bird as surveillance.
Just so you know, this This method here, this conversation will be recorded for further customer service.
Oh, basically. I mean, quite literally.
Quite literally. I love the fact that Victor and Dick just got a bunch of skeletons right now helping the town out and building things.
Yeah.
Doing the jobs nobody wants to do. Such as, for example, the, what's the old medieval toilet guy called? A dunny?
God. Just every now and then, just see a skeleton that's covered in a brown substance. Immediate recoil.
So, basically, the people are getting used to the skeletons and making everything nice and happy, yeah? It's the children that learns that they can even play the xylophones on the ribs.
Tick opens his mouth and actually plays like a little bit. You hear kids laughing, the rattling of bones. A very concerned parent.
The power of necromancy put into a necromancy who's all about jolliness.
Basically. And an alchemist who is more concerned with the fruit of science rather than the tree that it is grown off of.
By the way, I would also say they would probably eventually find behind the castle just like a pile of broken skeletons with various flying machine instruments that have been strapped on.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
They've been experimenting with the flying machines.
As you guys are standing there, Ragnar looks at the three of you. Before seeing his manner, oh, the manor, it's done. Well, I suppose I don't have to stay in the castle. Oh, by the way, Victor, Tick.
Yeah?
As terrible as my
Yeah?
time was back home, there was a big flying machine that they had. I believe
Tick,
we got
immediately
the
starts walking
blueprints.
towards him closer.
I believe we got the blueprints. Who had the blueprints? Halani, did you have the blueprints?
Who had the blueprints?
I don't remember. I don't think it was Holani. I think Esteban had them.
Oh yeah,
Is Esteban still there?
he's walked off.
Tick immediately starts darting in his direction. Exactly. The fastest you've ever
Okay.
seen a lizard bird
This
go.
is the scene that must happen. Esteban is in the bathroom stripping down, and the door just bursts open, and a bird bursts into his room, grabs the blueprints out of his pack, and leaves.
He hasn't even left. Like he's not even like. He's just walking back. He hasn't even drawn a bath.
I just think that'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
And it's in his bag of holding, so.
He knows
Tick.
what he's looking for.
Tick is going to go search the ends of the earth for this blueprint.
You would find Esteban like having probably only walked through the front doors.
Tick would just run over in front of Esteban, with his fucking his little bird hands on his knees, just very clearly winded for a minute before just Ragnar's voice comes out as just blueprints.
What?
Blueprints. A big airship.
Ah! How have the tables turned?
Airship. Blueprints.
Right, we saw quite a magnificent looking airship actually. And chief blueprints for it. Sure you'd be quite
Magnificent.
interested.
Quite interested. Tick just stares at him.
He'll reach into his bag of holding and grab the blueprints. And kind of hold it down towards Tick. And does he try to reach for it?
Tick just stares at him. This is not the first time he's ever been teased by someone taller than him. like tick and opens his mouth, and out comes that same scene of a person screaming as acid got spat on their face.
Oh my god.
Just waits. His foot is tapping now.
He's holding it like within reach.
He tries to quickly grab it.
Esteban quickly flips it back up.
I don't
That
want
I
to
need
sleight
to
of
check.
Is that a
hand.
contested contested dex or what?
What's the roll? Sleight of hand, deck.
Sleight of hand for Esteban, Dex for Tick.
I mean, it's the same
Oh.
one for both, so I'm just gonna roll sleight of hand. Or I guess I can click the thing.
Do the things.
No!
You have an inspiration.
You
You gotta
know
be
what?
faster than that.
Oh my god.
No.
I'm gonna give it to you anyway.
No.
Just for
Yeah,
fun.
it's just Tick just